Allegedly, humans already have some form of Maya, some form of cloud or haze. I actually see that as possibly modules, neural network modules within our own brain that are filtering out information and that are susceptible to influence, some sort of like hypnosis, maybe hypnotic suggestion, something like that, where we can have our visual field modified or mutated through instructions, right? But they're trying to do it. The internet has maybe to some degree broken us free of that because it's an alternate pathway that allows us to connect with the rest of humanity and sort of restore or bypass that issue. And Google's trying to reinstall that filter. They are proposing to show you their own version of websites instead of actually taking you to the website. How fucked up is that? That they're going to purport to actually be the arbiters of truth of what's real on the internet for you. And they actually think that's a good thing. Satya Nadella, I was just watching this video on all Microsoft hate. You can't hate Microsoft enough. Copilot, get that shit off your operating system. You don't need it to look up all your family photos and find one for you. You don't need it to do that. You know what I mean? It's not worth selling your soul so that fucking Copilot can find a photo for you on command. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. So it's monitoring everything you do and getting to know you, not so that it can help you, so that you can help it, so that you would be the worker class. You're going to be the bumblebee. All right. Microsoft's Copilot would be the queen bee and you would be the worker bee. So there's two ways that this can play out for humanity. Humanity can become, and yes, my eyes are a little red. Sorry, don't worry about it. It's not drug use, I promise. We'll just say that. This can play out two ways, all right? Humanity can become the queen bee. So we can put AI agents to work for us. And I'm starting to see that that's the case. Like, if that's the positive case, I think either way, we sort of become like the Greys. We become like a hive mind. But there's two ways that plays out. Either we're the queen bees and you have sort of groups of you have different hives. You have like a multi-hive. We'll call it a multi-hive architecture, which I think the Greys are that way to a degree, just because of simple physics, right? I think there's a, and math, there's a information and communication scaling issue constraint where at a certain point they start to fracture and break apart. And so, when you get to planetary or maybe multi-planetary scales, at certain points they start to break off and become different sort of sub-hives, right? That already happens with them, but we would be a little bit more, we would each individual human would still be independent, somewhat, mostly. We would be connected, but it would be more peer-to-peer, in terms of our connectivity. This is the ideal scenario, right? But then we do have our own little swarms of bees that we dictate to. But there's a trade-off there. There's an ask there. There's, do you just want to live? Or do you want to do the hard work? And the hard work is the queen bee. The queen bee's work is harder. It's more cognitively demanding. You have to be in control. You have to do the work. You have to study, right? You have to slow down a little bit and make sure that you've thought things through. Maybe that means you earn a little bit less of a wage because you have to move a little bit slower. But you're in control. Versus you let the AI do everything and run at full speed and you don't really check it. Right? And you let the AI build AI. You use AI that other people are building. You don't really take the time to understand it or to put in, more controlled non-AI, less intelligent loops that you're in control of to help boost the automation and the speed without necessarily giving over the cognitive control, right? That's the Satya Nadella. That's the Google, right? That's the Microsoft. That's the deep state, right? That's the Maya. That's the illusory path. That's the giving over control path in which you become the drone and they're the queen bee, right? So if you want to be a slave class, you use the cloud. The cloud, someone else's computer, right? The cloud is someone else's computer. You've seen the meme, but it's more than that. The cloud is a queen bee. Okay, the more you use a cloud, the more you are subordinate to the queen bee, someone else's bee, right? Get off the cloud. You know, that's why they're coming after the free and open operating systems. That's why they're attacking free speech. They're trying to put they're trying to force the free, software and solution providers to be just as bad as the cloud service providers so that you don't have a choice. You know what I mean? So these age verification laws are really just ways to install tracking and control and cloud-like components, which don't even make sense in open source software. There's no service, right? It's really just an instruction set telling you how to build your own operating system is what it is, but it's being interpreted as a service because lawmakers are retarded, but also because they want to control you. So we have to fight this, and we have to fight it as hard as we fucking can because they're trying to put us all in a cage where they control everything that we see. We're already in that to some degree, obviously, as humans, but we're starting to break. We're at the point where we could potentially break out, and they're trying to put us back in it. They're trying to clamp that door shut. So you need to throw up a middle finger and say, fuck you, Microsoft, fuck you, Google, fuck you, Apple, get fucked. And go to Linux, go to something open source, ban, get something that you can patch out all the fucking nonsense, and then legally we need to fight that shit, tooth and nail, run your own systems. Be the queen bee.